Hey guys, welcome to the class guide for Scout in Gears of War 4 Horde. The Scout is arguably the most important class in the game, and that's why I really wanted to do this video first. My goal is to go through the base concept of what the Scout has and does, while giving some tips when it comes to their playstyle. Following the base do's and don'ts here will show a noticeable improvement in your effectiveness as a team player, and you'll notice less people leaving games on you mid-wave, you'll be able to complete more full sets, bounties will be completed, more XP means more levels up means you're going to get more credits. It's a good time. I'll also be following up each of these class videos with an advanced video of some extra strategies so you can achieve higher scores, as well as play on insane and inconceivable difficulties with less stress. So the Scout's starting weapons are very general. The Scout starts with a Retro Lancer, a Gnasher, and a Snub Pistol. The Retro Lancer being the most important part of that arsenal, being that the Scout is the primary achiever for Lancer and Execution bonus objectives, of which I will cover in the advanced video. What makes the Scout unique is it's the only class with a built-in passive ability. Before a wave ends, any power that a Scout picks up is doubled. You'll notice the passive ability in effect whenever you start picking up power before a wave ends, and you'll see an extra yellow number where your power pickup is. That's your bonus, where it says plus, and the extra number is the additional amount of power that you're getting. Overall, I encourage one Scout per team for most levels of play. For more advanced players, this can vary a bit based off of the map size. For larger maps like Impact, Glory, and Forge, where enemies are generally coming from multiple directions, a second Scout can be very helpful to make sure all the power is picked up on time, as well as get the most amount of bonus before a wave ends. There's also the rare reason to not have a Scout at all in casual play. If someone's just starting out, the Scout's going to only have one ability, so you're going to be lacking in either movement speed, pickup radius, deposit bonus, or multiples of each, and it makes running to get power at the end of a wave difficult, especially when people that are starting out in Horde are mainly there to just kill stuff and have fun. A lot of them aren't going to give pause for a Scout to go and run when there's 2 or 3 enemies left. However, I do still encourage people to get a Scout in their matches, even if they're playing on casual, just so you start building that foundation and start understanding your roles, what you're supposed to do when you are a Scout, what you're supposed to do when you're not a Scout, and just start those habits early. As far as the card layout, the Scout has a straightforward recommended card layout. It's a one-size-fits-all that tends to work at full build on any level of play. At full build, the card layout is generally deposit bonus, health boost, pickup distance, health regeneration boost, and speed boost. This is the best card layout that I've found with the Scout for being tanky, fast, and it makes picking up power easy and fun. If you're starting out at level 1, I personally advise going with deposit bonus first. This makes you super useful when you're starting as a Scout and someone else is starting as an engineer. An engineer won't have their discounts in place, so giving them the most power they can to help level the fabricator faster will keep the engineer working and keep the engineer learning. Following priority as you go up in levels, I would equip pickup distance at level 3, health boost at level 5, speed boost at level 7, and health regeneration boost at level 10. The order in which you unlock these is a bit up to your own interpretation based off of how you play. If you find yourself struggling to pick up power in time, swapping out health boost with speed boost can be helpful. On the other hand, if you're finding yourself dying a lot, swapping out speed boost with health regeneration boost can keep you alive when you're running around enemies, unless you're starting to play on insane and inconceivable. I mean, it helps keep you alive, but once you start getting one-shotted in the later waves, then there's really not much you can do there. I do think that deposit bonus and pickup distance are your 2 most important cards, though, that really shouldn't falter in the order in which you pick them up, because they make the most impact on the rest of the team. By getting all of the power on the field, getting the double bonuses as much as you can, and then getting that extra bonus when you deposit it, makes all the difference for the fabricator, and then that helps out the rest of the team. With the extra power this gives, the engineer has the freedom to build what they need to get the fabricator to a higher level quicker, and in result that does give better aid to the sniper, soldier, and heavy with better weapons lockers that helps regenerate their ammo and keeps them firing and killing stuff as you're running out to go get more power. There are other builds the Scout can go with, but it's going to be going on the air of more of an experimental route. For example, the Scout has a lot of cards focusing on shotgun and melee damage, as well as there's a lot with health regeneration in cards like Rage, Cloak, and Dodge that can lead to some interesting playstyles. Most people will want you to play the Scout as the power collector exclusively though, so make sure if you're going to go these routes, say trying out a melee and shotgun damage build, seeing how much you can kill, then I would encourage telling your teammates that so they know that and they're cool with it before they realize that you're not going to be picking up all the power as quickly as you can. So here are my do's and don'ts for being a Scout. As a Scout, make sure you're keeping an eye on the number of enemies left in the wave. As the bar starts to get low or starts seeing that actual number of 5 enemies or less, you're going to want to run for power. In higher level play, when you have your health cards and your power cards maxed out, you can leave the safety of your base a bit earlier and you'll be safe to run past enemies and collect all the power, and you'll be alright with that through a full 1 through 50 match. However, in the later waves of Insane, Inconceivable, and even Hardcore, you're going to really want to watch yourself, because being out and walking around oncoming enemies can be dangerous when a lot of them can one-shot you, and it can lead to some quick and sudden deaths, leaving the rest of your team hanging. Undoubtedly though, at 5 enemies left, you need to be running. Second, when you start getting your health boost online, the Scout finds themselves in an interesting role of being a medic. If someone's down, you already have the advantage of being tankier than the rest of your squad, so throwing that movement speed onto that as you level up, you're generally going to be the first responder to go help someone out. Since you do have more health, if you aren't very hurt getting to your teammate, you can also be a meat shield for them as they're getting back up on their feet and getting ready to fire and continue covering you again. That way they're not just getting repeatedly downed and they immediately get their 2 downs and out because you didn't give them proper cover. Thirdly, since you're going to be out in the battlefield more than anybody else, being a helpful hand and marking weapons for your teammates can be incredibly helpful. Heavies can start filling up their weapons lockers with salvos and drop shots, snipers can pick up an M-bar for more headshots, and the soldier can never have enough grenades if they're going a full grenade build. Just being able to point that out when you see enemies fall on the field can be a great asset. On top of, if you do have your movement speed online, make sure to go pick up salvos for your heavies so you can run those back to a weapons locker a lot quicker than they can. And now onto the don'ts. Scouts don't generally have a lot of things they shouldn't do. A lot of it is just not being rude to your teammates. For example, don't take weapons off of a weapons locker unless you have a surplus for your situation. A lot of times a heavy or sniper will cycle between a few different weapons to keep their ammo flowing so they can keep the pressure going. It's best to just pick up weapons as you run and making sure the heavy couldn't use another drop shot before you start using it yourself. With the recommended build, you don't do a lot of damage with anything, so find weapons that are comfortable for you. Please don't camp most of the round. While you don't do as much damage as the other classes, that doesn't mean you go idle when the rest of the team is defending you. Helping your teammates get matches finished quicker gives you more credits in your pocket and gets you leveled up faster, and you get more pretty skins out of it because you have more credits because you're finishing matches earlier. On top of that, staying active keeps your eyes on the map, so have a good idea where most of the power is located, especially when, say, a sniper gets a weird kill completely on the opposite end of the map. Thirdly, and most importantly, this goes out not to the Scout, but more to people that aren't the Scout. If you are not a Scout, do not pick up the power. And I repeat, do not pick up the power. Let the Scout do his job. The only exception to this is if you're playing with someone that goes AFK, in which case you shouldn't be playing with him. Report him if you can, he's a jerk. Or if the Scout can't get to the power before the next wave is going to start, in which case the power disappears and you just lose that. Proper communication on this is key though, so if you know that the Scout can't make it, or if you see the Scout struggling, start sitting near power when you know the timer's about to run low, and pick it up right at the last second when you know he can't make it. However, if you see him sprinting, give him until the very last second, because a lot of times with that speed boost, they will go in for one last graceful dive and they will get it. Messing up that flow can be frustrating, so again, proper communication, don't pick up their power otherwise. In conclusion, the Scout is your moneymaker, your breadwinner, your power source, whatever you want to call it. Without a Scout, the job of everyone else is a bit more difficult, and the Engineer really gets screwed over with such limited funds so they can't upgrade the Fabricator. The Scout is arguably your most important class when it comes to your standard playing Horde. On top of that, it's just exhilarating when you get all 5 cards equipped and you're zipping past enemies that can't bother you, picking up all the power that your enemies leave behind. It's super fun. But that should be enough information to get you started, or at least help improve your Scout game as it is. I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to stick around for the advanced Scout video. If you like this, feel free to like the video and subscribe here, as well as join me in the community of Horde Hunters we have on Twitch at twitch.tv/CherryQuench. We play the game 3 times a week, and you can see when I go live with Gears by following my channel on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, stay thirsty, my friends.